Undress and put on the boiler suit.
What now?
Now we talk.
I came alone.
So this is Dickens' country. Reminds me of my home.
We don't have long before they come to find me.
3 weeks ago, there was a new arrival in Lushanka, an African. We caught him on the northeast Chechen border, training for a terror attack.
An attack where?
Here, in Ikei. After a little chat, we discovered the details. A major attack on British soil, already in final stages of preparation. A team of 5 operatives, all Sudanese born, but living in Britain, and recruited 1 year ago through a Muslim charity in North London.
What's the target?
I relayed the intelligence to my superiors in Moscow and awaited further instructions. None came. 3 days later, my Sudanese prisoner had disappeared. As you and I both know, no one escapes from Lushanka.
What's the target?
Here's the deal. We meet in central London. You bring me a UK passport with my photograph and a false name. You bring me $1 million in mixed currencies, all used notes. And I tell you the target.
We don't do deals.
Then you have to find the target on your own.
Where do I go?
White Cube Gallery, 1 o'clock. Come alone, Mr. Gray, no tail. Show me respect.
Your American source was right. The Intercontinental Hotel in Basel hosted this meeting earlier in the year. It's 25 guests, and all names and passports on the booking are false. But we're hearing chatter that intelligence agents were involved, but we don't know who else was there.
Thank you, Ruth. Keep this to yourself, would you? Dealing with the Sharvin is our priority at the moment.
I have to go. I'm picking up one of Malcolm's old dead drops.
Samuel Walker, please. We can't get much information. Unidentified government agents meeting in Switzerland, talk of a new world order. Nothing confirmed. But given our intel came from an American, I thought you should know.
I'll do some digging. Just when we thought everyone was at last getting on the same page. So much for a united world under a new leader. Are you implying we may both have some bad apples in our cart?
Implying nothing, merely giving information.
We're always a wise old bird, Harry.
That's why we're both still here. I have to go.
Ruth, I want everything we have on radicalism amongst Sudanese Muslims in North London. We're looking for a charity that was active 6 months ago and that's recently gone quiet. OK, let's raise security levels across London. We may need to close down all transport networks.
What do we have on Sudan?
Islamic governments in Khartoum have been known to harbour terror groups connected to al-Qaeda in the past. Britain's also been particularly aggressive over ethnic cleansing in Darfur.
So lots of angry Sudanese looking for a way to get back at us.
And al-Qaeda exploit that anger. They recruit a British-based Sudanese cell and train them in Chechnya. Because it's a new cell, we're unlikely to have intel on them. It's the perfect operation.
If it exists.
What do you mean, if?
if Darshivin is telling the truth.
Harry, we are talking about the potential for major British casualties here. We have to assume the worst.
Roz, information's just come in. The One Light charity in North London recruited volunteers earlier this year for aid work in Islamic North Africa. It advertised in Sudanese papers, but there's no record of it in the charity's register, and nothing's been heard of it since.
Let's get special ops down there. Ruth, I want a list of all the calls that came out of that office in the last 6 months. OK, we have 3 hours before Lucas meets Deshavin. Let's proceed as if this is a credible threat and establish all potential targets.
I'm glad to see you still like to get your hands dirty. How's the op going?
Slow. But you know how it goes. Have a seat. Are you sleeping with Lucas North? Firstly, I'm duty-bound to give you an official reprimand. Consider yourself soundly chastised.
And secondly?
Keep the relationship going. Harry Pierce has come to me asking for help. Some talk of a global conspiracy.
You don't suspect Lucas.
I suspect everyone. It's in my nature. Just keep close to him, see what you can find, okay?
Okay.
This is the raid on the One Light charity. The office was deserted.
The phone in the office was used repeatedly to call 5 different pay-as-you-go mobiles over the last 3 months, but all the lines are now dead.
5 mobiles, 5 operatives.
So the Sudanese were using the One Light office to coordinate the operation, but the attack's about to happen, so they've closed it down.
The office also called this number last week.
What is that?
I've no idea. I can't trace it.
That's a Russian military phone, coded number. There's no way of tracking the recipient.
Ruth, chase up any other leads from the office. Post, couriers, anything that can help identify them. Russia learns about a Sudanese attack, and rather than alerting us, it supports it. Why?
To give them greater leverage to deal with terrorists in their own backyard.
We make this public. We risk diplomatic meltdown.
Get onto the FSB, see what they know. I'll call the Cabinet Office.
Tarek, I need a simulation of London phone call, Sudanese to Sudanese. It needs to mention an attack on the UK, codes the lot, good enough to fool the FSB.
Hang on, you want the FSB to know that we know about the attack?
Yeah, let's see if we can draw them out. And you need to lose Nancy Drew for a few days.
What?
It's too sensitive. She's a risk.
May I have a word?
Yeah.
It's about that asset of Malcolm's. A computer-obsessed recluse called Nick Manning.
Yes, the geek patriot.
Manning spends his entire life hacking into various British security systems.
And pointing out our various weaknesses.
Yes. Well, he's missed his monthly dead drop. He's been an asset for the last 11 years. I looked up his address on the archives and went round there. But he's disappeared.
Is that unusual?
Very. He's never missed a drop. I found this stuck to his computer. The number doesn't exist. I think he's telling us something.
Well, given we have a major terror threat on our soil, I think Mr. Manning will have to wait.
Manning's an expert on African terrorism. What if he's warning us about the Sudanese attack?
Any proof?
No.
Well, then let's work with what we have.
So the major issue is, do we install an IT system so complex that no terror cell would ever be able to infiltrate our comms, but have the small problem